Hello again, and this is my third visit to the doors in the field in County Leitrim, the Amach to the field. This one's extra special. It's Aughadrumcarn. You'll understand, I've got a video actually recorded, most of the video on site this time. I got a better microphone, so I'm going to go straight to the video, really. This was yesterday that I was there, Sunday the 8th of October. I trust you'll enjoy the video, and that explains it. So I'll see you again after the video when I'm going to show you a few still photos that I took. Aughadrumcarn, and it's stewarded by Jerry Bowen, who's done an absolute fabulous job guiding us there, and the storytelling is terrific. So I'll see you after the video. I'm now at Jerry Bowen's Aughadrumcarn. Aughadrumcarn it is. Notice here to park before we get to the door, and there is the door arrow, and I parked in the gateway there. I wondered if it was wise, but he has various things in front of the gate, so I don't think the gate's going to open very soon. So off we go to Aughadrumcarn's door, and that's the reason why we can't bring a car up this track. Someone would probably get stuck. I'm going in the right direction here, no doubt about that, and this is as far as my trusty rollator can go. I'm going to use the stick now. So with the stick, off we go. Turning into a field now. Following the blue barbed wire, you follow that through. From the last sign, you got the enter here, so you can get right up to the door, and you have to get up to the door to get the phone number. Because of the barbed wire, it's hard to get a good shot of the door, so when I leave here, I'll get a video shot through the barbed wire. There is a cairn that's in its name, and I'm resting a while here, and I'm not going to go up the cairn, but that's going up to the cairn, which has got some holly there. I think that's blackthorn. I can read the phone number from where I'm sitting here at the back of the door. I won't show you the number for the obvious reasons. For a while I would like you to come out and look at the place and get the stories for yourself rather than the phone up from home. So I'm going to call the number and give you a bit of a rundown of what Jerry says. Well, Jerry's excellent. Jerry's storytelling is excellent. The phone number on the door, which I'm not showing you. It's very short storytelling, but boy, does he pack in a lot on it. It's absolutely fascinating. He's definitely a professional with this, and I'm sitting here still resting. As you know, I can't walk very far, and this is kind of the limit, I think, but it was worth coming here. And I showed you the cairn, and I'm going to show you a bit more of that when I get back up again, because Jerry starts off his storytelling about the cairn and various stories on that, and I'm wondering how much I can actually remember of it. I pretty much commences with stories of a treasure hunter that came here and dug down into the cairn, and not only does he talk about the treasure hunting, the man didn't actually find anything, but he tells the stories of the grim consequences, of course, of anybody who goes treasure hunting in a cairn, which a lot of people associate with the fairies, with the Sidhe. I'm going to look closer to the trees around here. There's bound to be hawthorn in this. There's a lovely collection of native plants here. Jerry explains how he distracts animals and people from actually coming here, so this is quite a privilege, quite an exception of being able to come to the door here. Talking about the cairn, saying below the cairn there used to be a lock, and he had descriptions of the lock and how the lock actually became a bog, and how some of that bog actually became farmland. So it's fascinating to listen to the transition there. And another transition that he's recently gone into, and it's interesting to hear this from a farmer. He took on a grant to actually let some of his farmland that had been worked by his ancestors for quite a long time, hundreds of years I suppose, and he took on a grant to just let it go fallow to actually improve the biodiversity of the field. And one of the things he actually said, really sort of spoiler alert, he actually said that compared with these other fields, the biodiversity field was the one that the farm makes the most money from because of the grant. But he actually feels a kind of a guilt about that because it's the end of the line. He's sort of worried that it's the end of the line of what his ancestors did. But I suppose my own opinion on that is I think, might be wrong for here, but I think ancestors actually did rotation farming. So a bit of the land, if they can afford it, if it was obviously when there's big families it's very difficult to do this, but a section of the land would be left fallow once every 3, 4 or 5 years. So I don't know what the further story is from that. He didn't go into family names, he didn't go into the local population much, but I think I'll leave it to that because to me they were very much the essential. Oh yes, he also mentioned that the townland actually has another name. I can't remember what it is, but you'll find out when you actually make the phone call. And it's related to horses, and the stories he tells of the horses in relation to the land, that's fascinating. I'm not going to do a spoiler on that one. I'll let you phone up and find out about that. But I think that was the gist of most of what Jerry said. Absolutely fascinating in just a few minutes. Well worth coming to this door, looking at the phone number, and if only to do like me and sit here. And unfortunately I'm sitting at the bottom of an ash tree that has got the ash die back. Unfortunately it's a dead tree. I'll show you what it looks like. You can see the ash. This is the branch I'm under, no leaves below it, which is obviously a sign. If I would get up, and I'm going to try and get up in a minute using my trusty stick, you'll see it's just covered in ivy. And the ivy is there trying to keep it alive, believe it or not. The ivy had nothing to do with killing it. Unfortunately, with the disability I got now, I can't do the usual walk around, and it looks like there are sort of paths that spiral up this cairn, up this corn. There are times I would have gone up and wandered around. But right in front of me, there is a lot of blackthorn here. Certainly, there we go. There's a few hawthorn leaves there. I don't see any berries left up there. I imagine they've been harvested. So there's bound to be more here as well. If I looked very closely, I don't see any willow at the moment, which is a surprise. But spindle is here, definitely, and Guelder rose. See the berries. There is that hawthorn or is that Guelder rose berry? I'm not sure. I'll have to pick it up. Yeah, a few remaining hawthorn berries. It was Jerry who founded the Leitrim hawthorn group, as it is, so that's not surprising. And now look at that. I'm kind of surrounded by hawthorn leaves. There is an incredible piece here. Very relaxing. And I'm sure this is Jerry's retreat place. It's certainly an inspiration for stories, connection with the Sidhe, the fairies, and just the whole feel of here. And I think a lot of the feeling, as I often say, is though the cairn was man-made, this is an incredible oasis for native nature that found its own way here, nothing planted here by a human being, and that's very special. And not all, I was going to say, not all of the hawthorn berries have been taken, and I thought I saw some, but no, they're holly berries, so I'm going to give you a shot of that. There we go, there's holly berries there, and there we go, definitely holly berries there. Not good for human consumption, but our birds absolutely thrive and love that. Yes, there are hawthorn berries here. There's a whole bunch of hawthorn berries, but not very visible to me, but not very visible to this camera light. So I hope with me whizzing around with the camera you might get the last of the hawthorn berries here. Another thing that came in the story from Jerry, he talked about the flax trade there was once here, and there's this tin that says flax sample, so I think I'll have a look into that. And there you are. There's a sample of flax that was pulled up from the bog here. Flax that once grew on the surface here, and flax that was actually grown here but got covered by the bog over time. And you know, I just don't want to leave here. It's very relaxing here. I talked about the distractions, stopping for a cup of tea for a couple of hours. Here's challenge number 5 when you get to a place like this and you just don't really want to leave. It is I do find it difficult walking around here. It's a fantastic visit. So before I go, I'll do a bit of a selfie here with the cairn behind me, and thank you very much, Jerry. Thank you. This is a wonderful experience and wonderful storytelling, and the way you've made it informative with the signs and the flax and the cairn. It just adds so much more to the experience. So thank you very much for this. It's a cloudy, misty day. Before I actually go, let people who are into alignments, I'm standing here at the cairn here, and there you got the cairn hill in the distance, Drumlish there. So there you go, the highest point in County Longford. And if you go up the top of that, you can see Carrickeel. You can see across to Meath and Loughrew. It's amazing how many sights you can see from there. And that's probably the best video shot I can get of the door. And this is what you look for here, the door. I think Jerry has purposely put this barbed wire up since doing the photo shoot to promote this. And wise, very wise to do. Now, in case I didn't say, that visit was on Sunday, yesterday, which was 8th of October. Wasn't that wonderful? A wonderful experience going there. I sort of hope that door will stay up forever. But as Jerry was saying, very few humans have visited there, so I'm sure he'll want to restrict access. But I hope there is more access and more events that is involved with that cairn. So I'm going to just finish off this video with a bit of a slideshow with some of the stills that I got there. So the first one we got, that's where you park. That's kind of by, I think that's Jerry's cottage anyway, but you park near there. There's a few spots you can just go in, and you have to walk from there. And you walk past this old cottage, which is next to his barns. And it's well signposted. You go off of the main track. It starts getting a little bit muddy and watery, so definitely you need the waterproof hiking boots or wellies. I found the hiking boots easier for me. Good to have a stick with you. I had my Hazel walking stick. That got me through. And you reach the door, and that's a picture of the door at the bottom of the cairn there. And these are a few shots of the actual cairn, which is loaded with native trees that found their way there. I'll let you just go through these. As mentioned on the video, not very good photo, but there's holly berries there that have ripened up. I kind of was sliding around trying to take that photograph, and you might be able to see the hawthorn. They were kind of in the dark, the remaining hawthorn berries, and that is the linen that was found in the bog that I mentioned on the video. And that's me about to leave. A lovely shot, I think, of the door at the bottom of the cairn, and of course it says cairn there, which is part of the name, which is Aughadrumcarn. As I was leaving, there was a donkey in the field. So I hope you enjoyed that one. That was the third one. I visited others yesterday, and when I've got time, I'll get the other 2 up. But right now, I'm going to pop out and try and visit 2 or 3 more today. So until the next one, bye. See you soon.